Sa syudad kag probinsya sang Iloilo, gimaras antiki aklan kapin syudad sang Bacolod kag Negros Occidental, ilabi na sa sagwa sang pungsod. Ang ini nga programa magadala sa mga balita, impormasyon kag magasipad-sipad sa mga issues nga mangin patas ang presentasyon sa tanan kag mabatian sa Facebook page kag YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline. Ang Iloilo Night Watch mangin mata kag dulunggan sa mga listeners kag mga viewers kag ini mabatian halin las 8:30 sang gabi, tubtob las 10 sang gabi.
Mayong gabi, banwa man gabi sa ato mga listeners ka mga viewers. Kumusta na kamo mga ka-newsline? Nagapamati na kamo sa ato nga pagwaragwag sa subong edisyon. Sa ato mga listeners abroad, kumusta na kamo? Kabay pa nga okay lang kamo, nagapamati na kamo sa aton diri nga pagwaragwag sa Iloilo Night Watch. Mabatian kita sa Iloilo Newsline, Gimaras Newsline kag Iloilo News Online. Araman naton YouTube channel, ang Iloilo Newsline. Mabatian kita sa bilog nga kalibutan. Sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers, dalawang tulog na lang, kasadyahan festival na. So sa mga kauturan naton nga nagapamati, medyo magutok-gutok ng syudad sang Iloilo. O magpadulong ka mo dire, at least nabalaan nyo na. No? Nabalaan nyo na kung ano ang sitwasyon sang syudad. Samtang nagahilapit ang Dinagyang Festival, ang Fiesta de la Candelaria, no? Gahilapit na. Di masako-sako ng aton nga mga lideres, ang aton nga mga kultura. Ilabi na mga naga-intra sa kasadyahan kag Dinagyang Festival. No? Ang ati-ati contest. Pero mayara kita nga mga balita lokal, national, international. Nga mga hatagan sa pagtamod sa subong pagpangalagad. Palihog standby sa atong mga listeners kag mga viewers. Check naton karon ang parte ni sa desisyon sang Comelec sa pagi kay Chairman George Garcia. May kang tanan sa ginpalagaw lang ang mga perma para kuno sa People's Initiative sa pagligwat o kung pag-amen sang Philippine Constitution. Mo ini ang ginatumod ang 1987 Constitution. May arad ako nung liwaton. Ilabi na sa economic mga economic provision daw liwaton na. Daw damo man ka kamalaot na sa ginaplano nilang hatagan sang 100% nga share owners. Ang ownership la 100% ihatag sa mga foreigners. Daw kabudlay na guro base mabutang kita sa lang-alang sa pilakadlaw na makaluluoy ang mga Pinoy. Dapat tanaw-tanawon ni sa aton nga mga lideres sa mga mag-aamin sang Philippine Constitution. Kag aton man karon na pasiplata ng parte ni sa kaso ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Ang panagiyan nila sang Kingdom of Jesus Christ. May mga nagagwa nga mga impormasyon nga may ara kuno nga mga testigo nagagwa kag nagpanaysayon kung anong ginhimo nila nung ginhimo sa ila ni Pastor Kibuloy. So check man naton karon kag update ini sa Dinagyang Festival. Ilabi na sa plano sang mga pulis sang regional office pagi kay Brigadier General Sidney Villaflor ngay ang signal la is shutdown. Hindi magpasugot yes Mayor Triñas kay madamo napiktuhan, madamo mga lideres ang napiktuhan, madamo ang mga pumuloy napiktuhan hasta ang mga pangabudlay ng mga grab lani, mga food panda kagang iban pa ini nga mga gagamit sa apps, di mapiktuhan sila kung i-shutdown, madamo man na mawadan sang palangabuyan, hasta mga bisita mabutang sa alang-alang kag ang mga sa naga-maintain sang social media. Di paano ka makaboy kung way signal? Kundi budlay ged. Di dapat timuan sa pamagi another option, no? Imuan sa ngaton nga mga pulis. 36 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 8. Ginadolong sa inyo sang Cindy Sandy Store. Nahamtang man sa barangay Rizal Palapala, Uno City proper, wholesaler kag retailer. Ginapanagyan ni Mamida Joy kag Sir Bayan Bono. Kag subong man, ginadolong man sa inyo ni sang Sabaw Resto Bar. Ang Sabaw Resto Bar nahamtang ini sa barangay San Miguel Hordan, Guimaras. Sa likod lang sang LBC, ginapanagyan ni Dr. Jisim Binamin. Manamit luto, mga nami ang mga nilaga yada. Mga pata, ang sisling, arada sa Sabaw Resto Bar. Nami man ang lugar, no? Ang ambience. So bisitahin nyo dang Sabaw Resto Bar. Di ka mo magkalipat Sabaw Resto Bar. Sa aton nga mga listeners kag mga viewers sa standby, unahon nato ng Commission on Election agi kay Attorney George Garcia ang current nga People's Initiative daw ginpauntat man ni sang Kongreso, no? Parte ni sa People's Initiative. Anong latest? Yari si Attorney George Garcia, Chairman sang Commission on Election.
Counting the votes, the signatures, simply because that is what is contained in COMELEC Resolution 10650, meaning there is a guidelines and we have to follow the guidelines. We cannot change the guidelines when there is already a process ongoing. So these are just preliminaries, and therefore this is the reason why we are counting is that it's a requirement for purposes of issuing a certification as to how many signatures were received by our local COMELEC. And as correctly mentioned by our spokesperson, this certification will definitely form part of a petition that will be filed later. So meaning to say, at this point, there is no petition yet. This process, official process, have not yet started. What the COMELEC is doing is purely a ministerial function. It's just like somebody asking the COMELEC to receive a letter. And our local COMELEC has no choice but to receive the same, being a ministerial function. So again, it's not yet the verification part because there is no petition yet filed before the COMELEC. Without the certification coming from the local COMELEC, surely that petition will be dismissed, because one of the requirements under the law and under the rules is that there should be an attachment as to how many signatures were received by the local COMELEC. And that will be, we can only find that out via the certifications that our local COMELEC had been issuing to the proponents. That's not, maybe that's only for one district. Presently, there were about almost 900 cities and municipalities nationwide who received the signatures coming from the proponents, and this represents more or less about 163 districts already of the 254 districts nationwide. That we cannot say yet, simply because, again, we are just counting the number of signatures. There is no verification yet. That is the difference. That is what we are trying to point out. That is what we are trying to clarify. There is no determination yet as to whether the 3% was reached or the 12% nationwide was reached, simply because it should come after the verification of signature. And we may not even come to the point of verifying the signature if the petition is insufficient in form and substance. The COMELEC can easily dismiss the petition and all these signatures are useless, mere trash and piece of scrap of paper. The petition actually depends on the petitioner. It may happen that even the signature pages or signature forms may be useless, or they will not be filing a formal petition. So that's it. If they will not be filing a petition, so there is no use on our part on the signature. So meaning to say, the signatures which are already in the possession of our local COMELEC, some of them are in the possession of our local COMELEC, can only have value if a petition is filed. So until today, these are mere scrap of papers. I had been answering that query, that statement coming from Attorney Macalita, and I'm going to ask this question to you. What if there is a guidelines coming from your station to follow this and to follow that? Will you not follow the guidelines? As far as we are concerned, there is these guidelines, and these guidelines or the rules, COMELEC Resolution 10650, which was promulgated way back, even before when I was not the commission, these guidelines is effective, valid, and it had been set aside or ruled otherwise by any court or any higher court. So meaning to say, the action of COMELEC is really based on these guidelines until somebody will tell us an order from a higher court, like for example the Supreme Court will tell us stop because what you are doing is wrong, or stop, we are going to study the validity of the guidelines of the commission. Then as of this time we have no choice but to follow the guidelines. Otherwise, then we are violating the very rule that the COMELEC have promulgated in 2020. Our voter registration processes, especially coming February 12 to September 30. If we are going to use the same number of people, the same resources, and we will be focused on one activity, we will have to set aside the other activity. We're going to verify the signatures in the event that a formal petition is filed. Definitely, we will have to set aside the registration of voters simply because there are specific periods provided for by COMELEC Resolution 10650 in accordance also with Republic Act 6735, the People's Initiative Law. So again, although we can perhaps squeeze on our timetable and our schedule these two activities, but unfortunately one will have to be sacrificed in favor of the other. Per municipality city basis, usually we have one election officer per municipality and more or less one or two only election assistants per municipality. Of course, there will be some casual employees coming from the local government units, but again, verification and the conduct of registration are purely COMELEC matter, and therefore only COMELEC employees will be the one allowed to participate in this activity. So again, more or less 2 or 3 people coming from our local COMELEC on a per city or municipality basis. COMELEC, and after our determination of sufficiency in form and substance, technically there is not much money that will be spent simply because that will be a usual activity or job of the commission, just to verify signatures from 8 o'clock in the morning up to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And usually, because we will be preparing already for the national and local election of 2025, we already authorized the rendering of overtime services to our employees. So maybe they will be stretching a little, or about 2 or 3 hours the conduct of verification. Likewise, in the conduct of registration from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that there is not that much money to be spent, public fund to be spent for these activities. We are targeting 3 million based on our projection, but however, at this point, indeed, and really it's too presumptuous. We do not want to presume too much. We will proceed with our registration by February 12. We do not know when a formal petition will be filed. As of today, as of yesterday, 163 districts. There are about 254 districts nationwide. And therefore, maybe they will be filing by next week or next month or next year. We really do not know. What the COMELEC is trying to do right now is just performing our duty in accordance with our existing rules and law. No timetable, there is no period as prescribed by the rules, so it's up to them whether they want to file it at all, or they will file it by next month. It's up to them. And so that is just to emphasize that the receiving of signature forms at our local COMELEC offices are purely ministerial on our part. We will not authorize anything yet. We will not do anything yet as far as these signatures are concerned, because we will be waiting for a formal petition. If there is no formal petition, these signatures are trash. These signatures are mere scrap of papers, useless, without anything to do with these papers. The predicament that we are in, we cannot do anything because that is a duty. And if we will not be receiving these signatures, cases will be filed against our local COMELEC, because there is a rule. And that's why if they wanted to question our rules, then questioning the rules of the commission or the guidelines is not to the COMELEC by itself, and that somebody will have to go to a higher court to question these rules and saying these rules are invalid, these rules should not be implemented by the Commission on Elections. Ma'am Kat, that yes, you mentioned that the DILG already wrote a letter to the Commission on Election. I don't want to preempt the opinion that we are going to issue as far as their letter is concerned, but I would like to say that the jurisdiction of the COMELEC will start only upon the date of the filing of the candidacy of any official which will be elected, up to the proclamation of that official elected in the election. And so after the election, whatever will happen to the public elective official, the COMELEC has no jurisdiction. Our jurisdiction can only extend perhaps if there is an election protest or a disqualification case still existing or is still surviving after the election. But whatever is the duty of the public official elected and or the function of the public official, the COMELEC has no say on these matters. With the implementation of the Register Anywhere project nationwide, you see during the initial registration of December 12 to January 30 of 2023, we pilot tested Register Anywhere project. But now, because of the very successful and the wide acceptance of our of our Filipino voters of the Registration Anywhere project, we're going to expand that nationwide. You can register anywhere, even without going to the provinces or going back to your original residence or domicile. We are going to register you wherever you are, and so there is no reason why you cannot register. Again, we are trying to register. We will be trying to register 3 million voters, and abroad there is also an ongoing registration of Filipinos overseas, which will be up to September 30 of this year also. We are more particularly centering our attention and focusing, Ma'am Kat, on registering our overseas Filipinos. Try to imagine we have at least 11 to 12 million Filipinos abroad, and yet only about 1.6 million voters abroad are registered. Try to imagine that number. And of the 1.6 million in 2022, it resulted only to a 40.59% voters turnout, the highest in our history. About only 600,000 voters voted. And so the way by which we can perhaps ask our voters to register, those Filipinos who are still having a second thought, is to offer them a different mode of voting. That's why for the first time, the COMELEC will be offering internet voting for our overseas Filipinos. Definitely, if you're not going to go to the embassy or the consulate, or if you are aboard a ship, you can already vote using any of the devices, iPad, cell phone, or laptop. Then you can really enjoy that experience of having voted even without going outside of your homes or your offices. So number two, as far as domestic voters are concerned, we have to make the voting experience easier and worth remembering. Like, for example, if you are going to vote in malls, we are going to expand the voting in malls nationwide, and at the same time we are going to likewise afford early voting hours nationwide to our senior citizens and PWDs. We ask for a demonstration of at least 12 companies on the effectiveness, the security issue of programs and processes as far as internet voting is concerned, in the presence of the representative from the Senate Electoral Reforms Committee and the House of Representatives Electoral Reforms Committee and such other interest groups. And we were so satisfied that indeed we can safely say that voting by internet is safe if we are trusting our Filipino voters to vote by mail. We are sending to them the ballots, and we are saying that they are the ones filling up the ballots. So why can't we not rely on internet voting when there are several ways by which we can verify whether the ones using the device and the ones voting are really the voters themselves? 400 to 500 million last election for 2022, manual automated election, but without internet voting we spent almost 500 million. So there will be at least a little less than 100 million expense for internet voting. And again, this is very important, because when we defended our budget, the internet voting budget was removed by the executive. But because we were given 13 billion pesos by the Bicameral Conference Committee, we are going to spend a portion of that amount for internet voting. And therefore, that is to debunk the idea that the money given to us is actually for people's initiative or for the conduct of a plebiscite. For this endeavor, we'll expect more or less 500,000 that we are going to spend also for the overtime of our employees, and likewise for voters' education and information.
Sir, sorry, 500,000 or 500 million? 500
million, 500 million, and for our overtime services, as well as for voters' education and information. Take note that for the 2024 budget or GAA or General Appropriation Act, we were given a zero budget for voters' education and information. So again, we are guaranteeing to our people that we are going to spend the money, the additional money given to us, not for people's initiative or for plebiscite, but for other purposes in relation to the preparation for the upcoming national and local election.
Si Attorney George Garcia, ang chairman sang COMELEC. So mutong ilang preparasyon, kagamutong ilang komento with regards sa papirmahan na isubong sa mga barangay officials, sa mga pumuluyo nga muning panawag nga People's Initiative. Iway pa man sa may nag-file sa COMELEC, may kang tanan sini sa plano nga People's Initiative sa pag-amen sang Philippine Constitution. No, 1987 Philippine Constitution. Tiway pambalan ni. Galutaw pa lang ini sa sabaw. Way pa mabalan kung sano ang nga pag desisyonan sang COMELEC kay way pa sang may nag-file gani sa COMELEC nga ang gamiton sa pagamen amo ning People's Initiative. No? Way pa gida. Daw malabo pa kay kinanglan pa ina nga i-verify ang tanan-tanan nga mga signatories, tanan-tanan nga mga pangalan, kag hibalon kung may ara nga makabignaton balasihan, no? May balasihan, may ano na sa panawag, may bastante nga balasihan la sa pag grant abisang COMELEC nga ipaidalom sa plebiscite ang pag-amin sa Constitution kung sino abi ang pabor, sino hindi. Ang panawag nila sufficient informed, no? So kung may ara nga balasihan, di mabalaan nato nis pilakadlaw. Galing kay tinong nagpagwaman si Congressman Martin Romualdez nga hindi na pagsigiyon ni People's Initiative. Kay si Congressman Romualdez amo ni siya ang Speaker of the House, no? Sa Kongreso. Kay may mga reaksyon ng Senado, may kang tanan sini sa pagpalakat bla sang permahanay. Di mayara gani nga nagapapirma gahatag kwarta. Mayara sila nga mga tinutuyo nga lain no sa likod. Kay ang nabalaan ni Senate Majority Leader Joel Villanueva ang pag-amin sang Constitution, no, pagi sa signature campaign daw tuyo dulaon i-dissolve nila ang Senado. Balikanta, no? Standby sa atong mga listeners, standby sa atong mga viewers, sa mga bisita, mga balikbayan, kung magkadto mo syudad, tanawan nyo lang ang Wilson City Government ara sa Iloilo Newsline kag makitaan man sa YouTube channel sang Iloilo Newsline kag Gimaras Newsline.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
Iloilo City's transformative platform, known as Wheels by Mayor Jerry P. Treñas, made a huge difference. Wheels stands for welfare, health, education, environment, livelihood, and sustainability. This highlights the remarkable projects and efforts that have been driving the city towards a more sustainable and empowered future. With Wheels, we had a long journey through the years. And now, we reached our destination of empowering Ilonggos for a sustainable future. This is Wheels, the arrival. Welfare is at the heart of the Wheels initiative. The eye care centers provide essential services to the community, with 5 operational centers and 6 more under construction. While the redevelopment of markets like Arevalo, Haro, and La Paz aims to enhance the city's urban landscape and convenient customer and merchant experience, with budgets allocated to support each project. Furthering its commitment to the welfare of its citizens, Iloilo City plans to construct a state-of-the-art legislative building. Additionally, the City Hall employees will have access to affordable housing with low-rise condominium units, while the urban poor will benefit from a condominium building under the Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program. The COA Bodega, a modern storage facility, will streamline operations, while new facilities for BJMP and PNP ensures better facilities for law enforcement. Balay Dalayunan, a cultural landmark, will provide a space for artistic expression and community gatherings. Payment centers like Marymart and the Atrium, SM City, and Megaworld will bring greater convenience to the people. Also, the Iloilo City Dog Pound and Animal Shelter at Calahunan Sanitary Landfill in Mandurriao District is serving as home for stray or rescue dogs. The health component of Wheels has made significant strides. The San Isidro Dialysis Center offers life-saving treatments to 84 patients weekly. The newly expanded Iloilo City Hospital has a capacity of 100 beds and provides accessible healthcare to its residents. Immunization services play a vital role in maintaining public health, with substantial progress made in administering the measles, rubella, and bivalent oral polio vaccines. COVID-19 vaccinations have been widely distributed across age groups, contributing to the city's fight against the pandemic. We also established a swab center. Iloilo City recognizes the importance of inclusive education in shaping a better future. With substantial investments in schools, modules, and laptops, the Boost for Education program empowers teachers and students alike. New courses at ICCC and TIIC expand educational opportunities, while scholarship supports the dreams of the serving students. The construction of district libraries and the introduction of various training programs contribute to a knowledge-rich environment. Through skill development and literacy initiatives, Iloilo City ensures a brighter future for its residents. The redevelopment of plazas, koi pond, beautification pots, and fish dispersal programs enhance the city's biodiversity and environment. The Tree Park Network, Beach Forest, Mangrove Eco Park, and Native Tree Growing Project exemplify the city's commitment to environmental conservation. Various gardening projects and cleanup initiatives promote eco-consciousness among citizens. The livelihood component of Wheels supports economic growth and self-sufficiency. The Business One-Stop Shop promotes ease of doing business, while the Uswag Negosyo Academy, or UNA, empowers aspiring entrepreneurs with knowledge and support. The UNA program, Terminal Market Rehabilitation, and Vocational Training Initiatives provide opportunities for entrepreneurship and skill development. We also made a big leap as we rehabilitate the Iloilo Terminal and Central Markets. Lastly, the sustainability aspects of Wheels drives progress and efficiency. All of the aforementioned programs and projects shall be sustained beyond Mayor Jerry Peña's leadership. The legacy shall live for our children's future. Wheels has united Iloilo City towards a future that is not only sustainable, but also full of promise. Through the collective efforts of government, businesses, and citizens, Iloilo City is paving the way for progress, welfare, and harmony. Thank you for joining us as we embark on this arrival of empowerment and sustainability. Together, we have built a better tomorrow for Iloilo City and beyond.
Gusto mo ba bala sa manamit nga donut nga dalon sa imo pamilya? Hindi ka na magbakal sa iban pa. Bungod bukas na para sa tanan ang Mars Pastries nga napahamtang sa sulod sang Ceres Terminal sa Barangay Kamaligaro, syudad sang Iloilo. Ano pang ginahulat nyo? Dali na! Mabakal na kita sa donut sa Mars Pastries. Pasalubong nga may pagpalangga sa imo pamilya. Mars Pastries. Barato na, manamit pa!
Balik kita diri sa aton nga pagpangalagan. Ipabatita naman sa inyo ang pahayag ni Senator Joel Villanueva, Majority Floor Leader sa nga Senado. May kang tanan sini sa plano nga People's Initiative, no, nga dudahan nga iya inipadihot man sang Kongreso. Ting hambal ni Senator Villanueva ang pagpapirma, no, signature campaign for People's Initiative nga mo pag-amin sang Constitution daw isa ini ka blatant move to dismantle sang Senado. Tigin pa balo yan ang makupdanan niya. Yari si Senator Joel Villanueva.
Mga kababayan, tungkulin po natin bilang inyong empleyado sa Senado na magbigay impormasyon tungkol sa tahasan at malawakang pagpapapirma para buwagin ang Senado, tanggalin ang check and balance, gayon din ang term limits ng mga politiko. Ang atin pong saligang batas o ang konstitusyon ng Republika ng Pilipinas ay ang kaluluwa ng ating bayan. Ito po ang pundasyon ng ating demokrasya. Kaya nga po, sa loob ng halos 40 taon, hindi po ito basta-basta pinakikialaman, binabago o ginagalaw ang ating konstitusyon. Ngunit hindi po ibig sabihin nito perpekto ang ating konstitusyon. Maaari pong may ilang probisyon na pwedeng makatulong sa ating bayan. Uulitin ko po, hindi tsatsa ang sagot sa problema sa mataas na presyo ng bilihin, sa kakulangan ng trabaho, mababang kita, krisis sa edukasyon, at marami pang iba. Kaya po, nakakabahala ang ginagawang PI at sabi daw nila, People's Initiative ito. Pero marami na po tayong narinig, nakita at nasaksihan. Kaya po ang panawagan natin, kung totoong PI o People's Initiative ito, sige po, dahil karapatan naman natin kahit ano pang klaseng konstitusyon ang gusto natin. Subalit, kung meron pong bilihan, suhulan, pagsasamantala sa ating mga kababayan, importante po na ang tao ay mulat at nabibigyan ng tamang impormasyon. Hindi po pwede na bibigyan kayo ng ayuda o salapi para lamang pumirma sa hindi ninyo naiintindihan. Kung meron pong nagoyo, nabudol, o gusto nyo pong magreklamo at bawiin ang inyo pong pirma, huwag po kayong matakot na magsumbong. Magpadala po kayo ng post, ng video, picture, o screenshot ng mga text ng mga panunuhol o anumang po pwede nyong ipagbigay alam sa amin. Hihingi na rin namin ang inyong pangalan, tirahan at contact details. Nang sa ganon, matulungan po namin kayo na maprotektahan at maipagtanggol ang inyong mga karapatan.
So mo to ang pananawan ni Senator Joel Villanueva. Kag panawagan niya sa publiko, kung may ara dira nga paperma, ambal nila iya ka People's Initiative, signature campaign, nga hambal sinyo, may ara ka nga duli tupad, may ara ka nga ayudahalin sa DSWD, i-rekomendar ta ka, basta perma ka lang. May ara man niya gahatag, sang kwarta, basta perma ka. Ina tanan, isumiter nyo to kay Senator Joel Villanueva. No? Kaya ang tip lang sa ultimo nga mga pumuluyo, nga silingon mo may ara ka trabaho, basta perma ka lang, makabig naton bribery ina siya. No? Why mo siya ginpahanugutan nga maghimo sang iyaya nga desisyon? Gindiktahan mo siya. Di na pwede ka mo to makasumiter sa kaya Senator Joel Villanueva ilabi na abi kumayara ka picture, no? Kung sino na ang nagahimo sang katuntuhan. Dala nyo to. Kay daw hindi lang niya parte sa economic ang hambal sang Senado daw hasta niya ang pagamin sang term of office sang mga politiko. Hindi ya para sa tabo ni kayuhan, kundi para sa kayuhan sa mga politiko nga dako pagid maglaba ang ilang panerbisyo para makapangurakot, hindi man tanan.
When we first arrived, we said we'd be more. And we were. We said we'd give you more. And we did. We even source 100% of our electricity from renewable energy, all while having the lowest rates in the country. But wait, no, that's not enough. This year, we're going to do more. But what does do more mean? It means more upgrades. More trees, more mangroves, more fingerlings, more crops, and more fruits. More of her, more of him, more of you, more of us, more of her, him, you, and us, making this world a better place for them. More power is going to do more, because with more power comes great sustainability.
My heart beats to the sound of the drums of our Ilonggo warriors. It dances with joy to nature and the open spaces that surround me in Iloilo. My heart is filled with love for the warm people, our culture, and heritage. It breaks into song as it sees the changes that progress brings to our city. The new modern blending with the old, a merger of the present and the past. My heart is full as dreams are fulfilled here. Everything I need and want is here. Iloilo is my happy place. The place I call home. Where love and affection overflow. It's the city of love after all. So when you visit, first we give you our food, and when we give you our food, we give you our love. You become part of us. This is why my heart beams with pride for Iloilo City and its people. There's just no place like home. Even if I go somewhere, I bring Iloilo City with me. My heart is never lost. For my heart beats in Iloilo.
My heart beats in Iloilo City.
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 My heart beats in Iloilo City. My heart beats in Iloilo City.
Our planet needs more. More from me, more from you, more from all of us. Since we started, More Power has committed itself to bringing more to life. But what is more? As an electric distribution utility, we light up thousands of homes, businesses, and institutions. So that's where we started. Under our 5-year development plan for Iloilo City, we worked to rehabilitate and modernize the system. We conducted an overhaul of our distribution system by investing in state-of-the-art facilities. This made sure our system was more responsive on several levels. Repair and optimization of facilities to decrease power interruptions. Automated restoration to decrease downtime for 90% of these interruptions. A 24/7 response team present for the rest, and mobile substations to relieve overloading. These state-of-the-art technologies have a focus on sustainable practices, such as net metering services allowing consumers to export excess energy, cutting down their cost and increasing the use of renewable energy. All of this while having 100% renewable sourcing from geothermal power plants and cutting electricity rates in half. This made sure that the energy we supplied was more reliable, more accessible, more sustainable, and more affordable. And we will continue to endeavor in incorporating renewable energy into our portfolio for the long term. Our services are only limited by our technology, and when we upgrade, we can bring more to your life. We partnered with LGUs to streamline the application process to make electricity more accessible to all of our consumers. We are not afraid to take on pilferage syndicates. We collaborated with the LGUs to convert these illegal connections to legal connections. Justice and fairness must be the standard. Through the streamlined process, paired with our efforts to apprehend pilferers and crack down on illegal connections, we have reformed the energy sector. Now those who were forced to live on illegal connections can now take pride in being legitimate consumers.
We are also not ignorant of the crisis our city and consumers have been facing. We feel your struggle, and we are here with you as partners. And that's what gave birth to the Partners in Power Foundation.
Through our foundation, we donated millions to help the city and its institutions fight against COVID with dedicated response teams assigned to major hospitals for rapid response to save lives. Beyond all this, we wanted to do more for our environment. In our first 2 years, we planted trees, mangroves, and released fingerlings. We have even adopted an entire mangrove park and supported a citywide endeavor for urban gardening. We also worked on what we could do more within our system. Our entire distribution system was made more sustainable by replacing every wooden pole and transformer with stronger and eco-friendly materials. And for every wooden pole we replaced, we committed to plant trees for each one of them. And you are a part of this too. 1,400 of us work together to donate flower pots for bike lanes throughout Iloilo City, along with encouraging our workforce to bike to work. But still, there's so much more to be done. Our mission stays the same, to bring more to life. As long as we work together, we can do more, we can be more.
16 minutos na nakaligat sa alas 9. Ginadulong sa inyo sa Pinang sa Flower Shop. Pinang sa Flower Shop na hamtang sa barangay Ocon sa Isnart City proper. Ginabanagyan ni Mr. and Mrs. Cyril Takusalmi. Pwede ka mo maka-order sa mga bulak para sa inyong mga okasyon. Pwede nyo man matiksan o kung matawgan si Mr. and Mrs. Cyril Takusalmi sa ilang number 0920-825-6483 0920-825-6483 kag 0916-786-8896 0916-786-8896 Pinangs Flower Shop. Kag base paluto ka mo, pakiter ka mo ara sa kay ni Jimatopa sa Crossing Patio, Dueñas, Iloilo. Pwede ka mo kapamasyada na ilabin na sa may mga okasyon ka mo, fiesta, kasal, bunyag, kadto lang mo kay ni Jima. No? Basta advance ka mo da pa booking siya kay para malutuan niya kamo sa mamanamit nga pagkaon. No? Dira sa kay ni Jima sa Crossing Patio, Dueñas, Iloilo. Disisyete minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Mga biktima ginpasuni biktima sang sexual abuse nga ginatudlo nga may kahimuan amo ini kuno si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy sang Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Nagkadto sa Senado ni ang mga ginpasuni biktima, no? Mga aliases la ni no? Ang meet lang sa Senado o kung sa mga senador sa pagpanguna ni Senator Risa Hontiveros. Anday alias Sofia kag alias Nina, amo niyang nagsaysay kung ano ang ilang mga naagyan sa kamot kuno ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Sa bagay ilaman niya panay sayon. Depende sa kay Pastor Kibuloy kung i-refute niya ini o kung ipanginwala ya ang ining nga mga aligasyon. Yari si Senator Risa Hontiveros samtang nga nagapamangkot sa duha ka mga ginpasuni biktima sang sexual abuse.
Ako po'y na-shock na madinig kung gaano kapareho ang mga kwento, bagamat mas malaki lang ito at mas matagal ang organisasyon. Mukhang pareho lang ang modus. Ginagamit ang relihiyon para manlinlang ang tao at maghasik ng kasamaan at mga abuso. Kung paano ginamit ni Senyor Aguila ang bulag na paniniwala para linlangin ang mga miyembro ng kanyang kulto, ganoon din ginamit at patuloy na ginagamit ni Apollo Kibuloy ang bulag na paniniwala para abusuhin ang mga miyembro ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ. There are many things that I've uncovered in the course of preparing for this hearing. May ebidensya tayo ng panggagahasa sa menor de edad, ng pisikal na pang-aabuso sa mga mismong tagapagsunod nila, kagaya ba naman ng paglagay ng sili sa mata at ari at pagbagok ng ulo sa pader, ng sapilitang panggagamit sa mga bata na manlimos sa kalsada. Kung mapatunayan sa hukuman na totoo, these all constitute charges of child abuse, serious physical injuries, and even human trafficking, which warrants life imprisonment. Di po nakakagulat na ito mismo ang kinakaharap ng kaso ni Ginoong Kibuloy sa Estados Unidos. Ito daw, si Ginoong Kibuloy, ay mahilig palibutan ang sarili ng mga magagandang babae. Yung mga choir sa likod niya, puro magaganda. At itong mga photos na ito ay public photos na galing sa internet at sa media. Mayroon po tayong documentation ng mga babaeng taga-Ukraine na paulit-ulit na pinagsamantalahan ni Kibuloy sa paniniwalang ang pakikipagtalik sa kanya ay pagsasakripisyo para sa Diyos Ama. Sila'y kasama din sa choir ni Kibuloy. Panoorin po natin ang mga video na ito bilang bahagi ng aking opening statement. Ang mga babaeng ito ay handang magbigay ng kanilang testimonya in person, kung hindi lang dahil sa matinding digmaan sa Ukraine ngayon. Sila po ay nagbigay ng kanilang consent videos na ito. So, panoorin muna natin si Yas Sofia.
About 21 years old. It was the 2014. And
Where did you stay?
I stay in a dorm, like a building, a separate building. And most of the people there was Ukrainian.
Tell me how your relationship with
By the way, ginapahambal ni Senator Hontiveros ang mga kababaihan nga allegedly
Very
gin-exploit.
friendly. I didn't feel everything like, oh, he's like me. No, there's nothing about that. And transfer me in one room. I live with the Jack Roy. She's pastoral and one of the closest, like she's very close to pastor. And I live with her in one room. And little by little, some girls like Jack Roy and other girls of pastorals are Filipino. They used to fellowship to me like, are you ready to sacrifice everything to God, to the Father, like pastor? Of course, I already sacrificed. I leave my job, I leave my school, I leave my friends and my parents. I already sacrificed a lot of, so what do you mean? I cannot understand, because I already sacrificed and with the life that I choose and I live, and I believe that this is God's way for me. So, and they were just like, even your body you can sacrifice. When he see that there is no Ukrainian girls and I'm alone, so he start more and more to talk to me. Are you want to sacrifice? Are you want to sacrifice everything, even your body? That's very innocent. I really didn't. Nobody talked to me like straightly that this is what will happen. And I remember that time came, and Atejah came to me in the night, and she said, I want you to massage pastor's feet before he sleep. When Atejah called me for night to massage him, I didn't think that this is what will happen, even though I was nervous. And she saw that I'm crying, but I'm still do what they want me to do. I wake up, I put this pajama and I'm crying, I'm scaring, and it's night, and they put me, because I never stay in pastor alone in the night, in the dark, and I was nervous. It was big room, and before room there is a little room. So Atejah lead me there, and she said, go in pastor's room. And I just stayed in this little room because I was scary and I was crying, and pastor was waiting for me till he realized that I'm not coming, and he by myself went out and pulled me in his room. And I was like scary, and he said like, massage my feet here, and then little by little, and I was very nervous, and it was dark, and suddenly he started to move my hands to put on his butt, but he said massage here, and I said, oh my God, okay, and I massaged. And after that, little by little, he just turned to me and he removed my clothes, and I even can, because I was very shocked. I was like, I cannot explain, because I was nervous. If this is what happened, he just removed my clothes and have sex with me.
women below the age of 18 years old, were they also being used sexually?
Yeah, I didn't know about this for how many years till before I left Philippines. I heard from other, like, she's very close to pastor. She grew up with him. She's a senior there, and she's pastoral. And I heard that, oh, you're crying, because I always complain about this pastoral's ministry. And she said, oh, you're crying that you're pastoral. At least you're mature, but I become a pastoral in 12 years old. This is time when I was like shocked. The next day when I heard this, that become a pastoral and 12 years old, I started to fight with pastor and ask why. Is it normal?
No, Sophia, there's nothing normal about it. This is child abuse.
I think it's like 2012 that I came. My mom and my siblings, they started to attend first the congregation here in Ukraine. So they were trying me to that I will also join them. They've been like trying to to get me in also.
Si alias
to the
Nina.
kingdom.
What year did you go to Davao?
Oh, I think it's 2012.
Okay, and then can you tell me how you became a pastoral?
I became pastoral maybe like maybe 5 or 6 months. I remember there was one day we had a preparation for there's ICD International Children's Day, so I joined the dances, and I remember after it's like late at night somebody called me and they said that Pastor Kiboloy, like he's waiting for you, he's calling. So I didn't like think anything. And then when Pastor Kiboloy called me, like he was asking me if I will become a pastoral, and he said that you must sacrifice everything, including your body. But I was like very innocent to that. I did not understand. I thought it just sacrifice your body, that it's you will not be married like that. There was time that he was calling me at night again, and then he was trying to explain to me what is the meaning of that. Like you have to like sacrifice your body. It's you have to have a sex with him. Not right away that I was okay with that. It's like maybe 4 months more.
Around what month did it start when he started?
Maybe it's like summer 2013, something like that.
How long were you a pastoral, and how long were you being used by Pastor Kiboloy?
If it's from 2013, and then I left 2021, so it's like 8 years, I think.
And during that whole period, you were being sexually used by Kiboloy?
Yes.
You also met the other pastorals, the other Ukrainian pastorals?
Yes, all of us. You don't even think that others are like that also, because they're saying like don't tell anybody. It's a very like sacred ministry. Not everybody can like be like that. It's not all the same. It's like once or two times, and the other one they have to be like every week, like night. It's called night duty.
Okay.
Like us, we've been there every week. We have to go. There's like schedule for every girl that you have to be there. Every time I go there, I was like praying that he will be just sleeping and not touching me. One time at night, he came to me to my room to have a sex, and I was crying. I said that I don't want, and he got mad at me. He said like, "You're going to hell because of that."
Bilang patunay na hindi sila nagsisinungaling, nagpadala pa ng maraming larawan ang ating witness na kasama nila si Kibuloy. Sa likod ng mga ngiti ay mga pang-aabuso pala.
Samo ng presentation ni Senator Risa Hontiveros sa Senado. Amo to ang mga panay sayon. Sanggin pasuni nga biktima kuno ni Pastor Kibuloy. Open man ang aton niya nga linya, no? Para sa kay Pastor Kibuloy. May ara kita da number. No, pwede man sa katawag. Open man nga para maka-asabat with regards sini sa aligasyon nga ginpresentar sang Senado. Hatagan siya sang tiniuni para makasabat man. No? Ato niya hindi kita gusto one-sided. Gusto ta maplaster rin sa mayo, mabatian man ang tingog ni Pastor Kibuloy. Kay para man mapresentar tabla patas. Ini aligasyon pa lang sanggin pasuni biktima. No, sang sexual abuse. Kag iban pa nga mga ginahimo, no, nga pag ay man gamit, no, hingalitan mo bla, no, ginhingalitan mo bla ang iyang utok nga mayara kuno gani ka pangayo kayo no? Suno kay Senator Risa Hontiveros. Tanan mga aligasyon. Hindi kita makahambal nga muna natuod kay way pa man sang kaso nga presentar, way pa man sang file nga kaso sa korte batok kay Pastor Kibo. 31 minutos na nakaligad sa last 9. Time check. Ginadulong man sa inyo sa Baul Resto Bar. Ginapanagyan ni Dr. Gisem Binhamin na hamtang ini sa Barangay San Miguel Hordan, Guimaras. Manamit ang mga luto, maayo ang lugar. Kag kung magpabulong man kamo sa inyo himata, dala nyo sa klinika ni Dr. Marilyn Garmay Gaitan dira sa Cruising Piña, Buena Vista, Guimaras. Dala nyo lang to palihog. Miyerkules kag Sabado, las 10 ang aga, kitanay kamuda ni Dr. Marilyn Garmay Gaitan. No? So, hindi na mo magulat pang maglala ang balatian sang inyong himata. 32 minutos na nakaligad sa alas 9. Kag sa mga nagapangita sa salakyan, ara daw sa Toyota, pangitaan nyo si Tia Diaz. O mag-loan ka mo, pangitaan nyo to para madasig ang pag-process ang inyong papilis para ma-release daso ng ginahandom nyo nga salakyan para sa inyong pamilya, para sa inyong negosyo. Okay? Ipabati ta naman sa inyo. Ang pahayag ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, parte ini sa aton nga teritoryo nga sige sa gyapon pagbinggansa, sige gyapon ang pagpangbuli sang China sa aton. Ilabi na sa mga mangingisda, makumoto nang uha to sa mga shells, ang ginhimo to, ginkuha nila kag ginpangula, makumuna. No? Kaluluoy lang aton nga mga fishermen didto sa West Philippine Sea. Nga daw ginasimo lang sang mga miyembro sang Chinese Coast Guard. Pero magatindugan ta sa gyapon ang ato nga teritoryo. Kay aton ina, suno kay President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Yari si President BBM.
So today, as beneficiaries of their heroism, we pledge to continue to pay those dues. For that is the only way that we can honor those who founded this republic, those who fought for its ideals, and those who fell in the war. And the fight continues up to this day. Because while the great cause of freedom endures, it still faces threats, some shocking, some subtle, but all met with the same result. To those who trample our sacred shores, the spirit of Malolos commands us to resist you, for the territory our forefathers fought for is unconquerable. But the wars we fight today involve no armies to be crushed or trenches to be overwhelmed. They require no bloodletting, no rushing of barricades. They are harder to vanquish, and they exact a human hunger, a toll of hunger, poverty, and disease that claim more lives than any armed conflict. We continue to be unrelenting in securing peace from all quarters, for freedom cannot thrive in chaos. It cannot exist with those who preach intolerance or seek tyranny. Most importantly, we have been working to forge a national unity based on ideals larger than ourselves, for a cause higher than we are. A divided republic can never prosper. When fractured into tribes, cliques, and factions, its attention is divided by the petty, and its energy is distracted away from the grand dreams we have for our nation.
Si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. So tindugan ta kuno sa gyapon naton teritoryo bisan pa nga daw hindi kita makasarang sa China eh. So kabay pa nga madayon na ni ang joint exercises sa Pilipinas kag US kag iban pang exercises nga participar man ng Germany kag Japan. No kabay pa madayon. Kag kabay pa nga conduct sa patrolya ang ini nga mga pungsod upod sa Pilipinas dira sa West Philippines. Kagabay pa matabog na ng Chinese Coast Guard na da kag Chinese militia. No? Nga hindi mangin sa gabal sa aton nga mga fishermen nga aton nagiterritoryo gamahan pa nila nga mga taga China. What kung ano ni katuod nga balita ni nga may mga investors to, kalabanan ng investors to sa China nagpull out, nagkadto sa India kay daw hindi ka saho kuno sa pagdumalahan. May nagagwa nga mga impormasyon mo aras balita. No, nagaginawa lang nga nagpull out kuno kay ang tanan-tanan nga mga data sang isa ka negosyante gusto kwaon sang Chinese government. Hindi sila gusto kay base ano pa maglanabo sa ilaya negosyo da, no? Kung ninaling ihatag tanan to sa Chinese government kay gusto nila i-kuan mo bla i-surrender ang tanan-tanan mo nga mga information dira sa China kung magnegosyo kagid man. Di daw damo kuno nagpull out to nagtransfer sa India. Sa unang value sang kwartatos China, dako-dako pa diri sa Pilipinas, subong daw nagnubo na gid. Nubo na gid bangod sa sini nga mga nagakalahinabo. Sa atong mga listeners ka mga viewers sa mga nagahiwat sang kadlawan, happy birthday. Kung magdagyang kita sa Biyernes, Sabado, Domingo, along-along kita ha, hindi sagad dala kita sa mga valuable materials o kung mga alahas nyo da, cellphone nyo, kaptan nyo mayo. Hindi ka mo sagad pa pabitin-bitin da hasta sa mga ginasuksok nyo, mga shorts nyo, mga blouse nyo, ha? Para kung hindi ka mo mulis dyan o kung hindi ka mo pagbastuson, hindi ka mo maghimo da sang mga padayaw, no? Nga daw wala ilinsakto bla. So, salamat sa inyong pagupod diri sa atong pagpangalagan. Kay Leslie Londonio, kay Juliet Barid. Kag sa iban pa nato nga malisens ka mga viewers, condolence kay Mads Chari Herrera. Pagtaliwan ni Ma'am Nancy Hilyada. Condolence gid. Kag sa iban pa nato malisens sa dekada 90 sa St. Joseph School Ihas Disos. Mayong gabi sa Bat City 4 o Class 84 sa Manapla Elementary School. Thank you so much. Kag sa iban pa nato mga listeners, mga katapos sa media nga nagaupod sa atong pagpangalagad, thank you so much. Upod na kay Toto Boy Jeff kag Nonoy MJ. Ini ang inyo alagad Johnny Yanson Diaz. Madamong salamat kag mayong gabi Pilipinas para sa Iloilo Newsline.